Hi everyone! Today we're going to be painting this really cute little Moonlit Swing for Mini Canvas Monday. And don't worry if you're a beginner, this is a great one for beginners, and I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cool moon glow effect around that moon. So make sure you stay through to the end, because I also give you a really cool tip for adding the highlights around the little girl in the swing. So let's get started. We're going to jump right into this. We're going to be using DecoArt Americana paint. I have True Blue that I'm going to load on my brush right now, and I'm going to also put some Dioxazine purple on there, and I have a flat brush. I'm using a 5x7 canvas panel, and I'm just kind of brushing this nice dark sky in here. And I've already traced my canvas, so that takes away some of the difficulty. I'm grabbing a little more blue now, a little bit of purple on there, and coming around the side here. I've also, after I traced it, I used a black Sharpie to darken in the lines for the swing, and hoping that will help me when it comes time to painting it. So just kind of painting around this. A little more blue, actually just all of the True Blue now, and none of the purple for this area here. And in a minute we're gonna do a glowing moon effect, so make sure you keep watching. I'm dipping my paintbrush in a little bit of water, dabbed it off on my rag, and now I'm going to come around here. I'm staying away from that moon shape, and I'm going to kind of go around her silhouette there. Okay, now I'm going to grab some white on my brush, and I didn't clean the brush. I'm just putting white right here in the middle, and I'm going to swirl it. This is the neat glow effect that we want around that moon. Grabbing a little more white and just kind of swirling it around, letting it blend into that night sky. This is going to give that moon a nice hazy look around it. And I'm bringing that on down around her a little bit too. Okay, then towards the bottom, I'm going to just grab some Dioxazine purple and come underneath the swing. All right, I have a small round brush, and I have pure white, and now I'm going to go in to where that moon is and just paint that in with white. And I have still a lot of white on my brush. I'm going to dip that into some purple, just straight purple. And now I'm going to kind of dab a little bit of purple onto this moon face, and just kind of any way you want to do it. You want some purple. I've loaded a small flat brush with black, and now I'm going to paint this tree trunk. Next step, we're going to work on the swing next. If you're somebody like me who does not have a steady hand, you can use a black Sharpie and a ruler to create your swing. So, otherwise, if you have a nice steady hand, then use a very fine detail brush or liner brush and paint those in. Now I'm going to go back in with my little round brush and go ahead and paint this swing in. Using the same small, oh, I just put my finger in my paint. Blooper! All right, using the same small round brush, I'm going to paint in a little girl. Basically, this is just a round circle on the top if you didn't get the tracer. Free tracer is available to any of my email subscribers, and there is a link to that group in my description. But anyway, if you didn't get the tracer, her head's just a circle, and if you think of her body, this part of her torso, as like an upside down C, or I guess a sideways C. Okay, so I've got the C shape, and this would be where her elbow is. So just fill in that upside down C or sideways C. And then she's got little knees that kind of stick up right over here. So I'm bringing the knee in to her body like that, and give her another little knee over here. Kind of connect that all. And then just fill the rest in. It's the nice thing about silhouettes. There's not a whole lot of detail. You just need to get really the outline. Okay, now for some little ponytails over here on the side. You can make her ponytails however you like. Just kind of doing some fun little lines coming off from the side here. Now I have my small flat brush and I'm using it in a vertical manner with the bristles vertical instead of horizontal. And I'm just going to kind of swipe up, trying to keep a light touch so that these grasses are not thick. Okay, you can leave it as is and be done with it and sign your name, or you can add some leaves at the top if you'd like. So I'm using this little round brush and I'm just going to kind of find some places where I can just dab in some leaves on this tree. I'm just kind of using a dabbing motion and just to kind of mimic the appearance of leaves. Just do a real light touch and just kind of dab in a few leaves very carefully around that. I'm going to attempt to highlight around a few of these areas with this white acrylic marker. It has two different ends to it, a very fine tip and then a larger tip. So I'm going to be using the fine tip and I'm going to try to highlight around my little girl's head a bit. Just see how this looks. And then I can go back with some black, and let me show you what I'll do with that. Grab my Sharpie. Since I feel like I got that a little too thick, go in with my black Sharpie, or I could use my paint. So you can play around with yours, add any details, add more highlights if you like those, however you want to do it. But I hope you enjoyed this mini Canvas Monday painting. And it reminds me so much of when I was a little girl because I loved swinging. Totally forgot to put the stars in the sky. I sure did not want that big blob right there. And so that is my shooting star, but I'm just using the end of my small brush and dotting this. But if I'd have remembered, I would have done this step before I painted the tree, because you kind of want some stars to be out behind the tree too. So I'm gonna have to fix that. And now I'll just fix up, use my Sharpie. Right? Okay, now it's finished. So anyway, check the links in the description. I've got a link to join the email club and a link to our new channel. My sisters and I are doing Sisters Gotta Make, and it's basically just a fun time for us to gather together and do our own creations. They both quilt and I'm a painter, so it's just a fun hangout, and I hope that you join us over on that channel, and I'll link it in the description. So anyway, we'll see you next time on Mini Canvas Monday. Goodbye.